Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here with a PC build for you guys. This is going to be the new computer I'm going to start recording videos on. I'm joined today by my coworker and famous internet troll. You may know him as Supreme Leader Baseplate from Discord. He's going to help me with the build and also with the recording and stuff. So it occurs to me before we build this PC that you guys don't know what I'm working with currently. So I'm going to take you through my current PC, and then you guys will get to see the unboxing of the parts that are kind of behind me here, and then the assembly process of the new PC. So I'm going to grab this and walk you guys through my current build. So I guess we'll start with the motherboard, which is obviously back here. So this is MSI 970 Gaming. I think you can see it written on there above the graphics card. So 970 Gaming. Underneath the cooler here is a AMD 8320 Black Edition CPU. It's running 8 cores. At base, or as stock, I think it's like 3.5 gigahertz, but I have this overclocked to 4.2. Which is why I went with water cooler so that it didn't run hot. And this thing has done pretty well for me. It doesn't really ever let the CPU get above about 45 degrees. Next to that, I've got two 8 gigabytes, what do you call it, G-Skill Ripjaws RAM sticks. I don't know what the, what do you call it, the frequency is. It's probably like 3200 or something.
No, it's not.
Doesn't say?
No, it's the freeze at best. It's like 1866.
You think? Oh, yeah, maybe. It's pretty old, so yeah, I'm not surprised. Below that, we have a GeForce GTX 1060 graphics card. This is actually not the original graphics card that this system was built with. It used to run an Asus Strix 960. I put this thing in a few months ago. And then below that, I've got two SanDisk SSDs, one of which is like a 256. Can you guys see that okay? A 256 gig, and then the other one is 2 terabytes. So the 256 has the OS and a few essential programs, and then the other one is pretty much reserved for gaming. And then in here, I've got a couple of HDDs, one of which was installed with the original build, and then the other one was ripped out of an old desktop to recover the data on it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, we've got a water cooler on there, which you can see on top of the CPU, and it runs up into there where you can't really see. I think it's the Corsair 80i series. So it's only a single 120 millimeter fan. It's not a dual, but it's done a great job for me so far, and I actually upgraded for our new system we're going to build today to the dual fan version because I liked this one so much. Okay, so that's what I'm working with currently. So now I'm going to take you through what's going to be going into my new setup here. Before I do that though, I should say that none of these companies are of course sponsoring this video. I paid for all this out of pocket. This is just my own personal project, and I wasn't given anything to advertise to you guys. So for starters, this is the case we'll be building in. If you were following me on Discord, you probably would have seen this already, but I'll talk about it anyways. This is the Fractal Design Meshify C. The white version, the black front panel, and the interior is all black as well. This only comes with a tempered glass side panel. Not my first choice, but I do like being able to see in here. I would have preferred something like acrylic though. But one of the main stipulations I had with building this PC was I didn't want another black and red PC like the one you just saw. So anything that wasn't black and red was pretty much fair game. This being white was a nice compromise. But anyways, this is much smaller than that case. This is mid tower. That one is like somewhere in between mid and a full tower. So things are going to be a little bit more cramped in here. But there's a lot of dead space in that one, which is great for airflow, but not so great for trying to fit it in my room. So I think this will be a nice sort of in between as far as size goes. Everything should fit in here fine, but I don't have this big hulking thing that's going to take up my whole desk. So yeah, that's the case we're going to be using. Inside that, we're going to be mounting an Asus Prime X50P motherboard. So that'll be probably the first thing we work on when we start building. On that, we'll be mounting a Ryzen 7 3700X processor. As far as memory goes, I have 2 packs of 16 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance Pro RAM, so 32 in total. These are DDR4 3600 megahertz, so should be more than enough for gaming and rendering videos. As far as storage, the main drive is going to be an XPG SX 8200 Pro solid state drive. These are the M2 solid state drives, not the traditional 2.5-inch drives. I have 2 of those, each 1 terabyte. Again, one is going to be the main drive with the OS and essential programs. The other one is going to be pretty much dedicated for games. In addition to that, I have this 4 terabyte Western Digital 3.5-inch drive, and that's what I'm going to be storing bulk stuff like raw video footage and whatnot on there. The main centerpiece of this build, and again, the sort of reason for it in the first place, is this graphics card here. This is an MSI Duke 2080, and since the box doesn't give much away, I'll give you a quick look inside. So it's a 3-fan setup. This thing is a massive, massive graphics card. It should fit in the case. According to the specs, we have 1 millimeter of clearance, so we should be good. Yeah, 1 millimeter.
Okay.
I did my homework. It should fit.
Famous
And then-
last word?
If we have to grind some stuff down, you know, we can do that.
Yes,
And
we
then
can.
to cool the CPU, as I mentioned before, I'm running another Corsair water-cooled system. This is the 100i. Again, I have the 80i in that guy. I really like it. It did a really good job in that system, so I basically just went to the next most beefy setup, which is a dual 120 fan instead of the single 120 that's in that one. So hopefully I get the same or better cooling performance out of that, which I definitely should. And then lastly, this will be powered by Windows 10, of course, because I can't find Windows 7 anymore. So that's pretty much everything that will be going in there. There's some other ancillary parts. I've got some RGB fans to make it look pretty inside, and a thermal take power supply at 850, which we'll probably be using most of. And as far as parts go, I think that's about it. So let's open this thing up. We'll start removing some of the unnecessary stuff, and we'll get ready to mount stuff in it. Okay, so we've done a little work on the case. We've taken both panels off, as you can see. We also took out the... Where'd the drive cage go? Oh, it's over there. We took the drive cage out. There's a 3.5-inch drive cage in this power supply shroud that we removed. There's also a breakaway piece here, right here where my hand is. That piece needs to be removed if you're going to install a third fan on the front panel, which I am, so I got rid of that, and the drive cage is, of course, slightly in the way of that too. In order to take that piece out, we had to remove the front panel, being careful of all of the wiring up here. I'm going to remove these stock fans too. We've already pulled the back one out, we're going to pull the front one. So this is like the bare bones skeleton of the case. As far as assembly goes, I'm going to work on the motherboard first. We're going to put all of the little bits and pieces on the motherboard that need to go on there, like those M2 drives. Then we'll mount the motherboard, and then we'll shove the PSU in and start adding the bigger stuff. Okay, so we're going to start right on the motherboard first. So I'm going to unbox it for you guys. Inside, we of course have the motherboard, and then we have like a little accessory slot here on the side. Let's see, I'm going to pull this whole cardboard piece out. The booklets and whatnot. Is that like a driver disc?
Yep, and manual.
Okay. So inside, motherboard with the I/O panel, which is aluminum, it looks like. Yeah.
Plasticky?
No, I think it's aluminum. What do you think? I'm pretty sure it's metal.
Oh, actually, this is metal.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
aluminum or something.
Okay.
Had some SATA cables. Looks
Too
like
small. Yeah, so that's way too small.
one flat and one 90 degree. So we'll see if we need it. And some fan connectors.
Is it?
Possibly.
No, that's RGB.
RGB. Oh, right, because this is the Aura sync. How could I forget?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you gonna talk about the VRM phases?
No.
Okay.
Nobody cares about that. Alright. So, the first things that we're going to install are going to be the M2 drives. Obviously, the processor should go on before we put it in the case. And we'll do the RAM as well. Anything that mounts directly to this that doesn't need any cables. Alright, I'm going to mount the M2 hard drives first. So these are the 2280 variety. I don't know if you can read that. But 2280, which means that we need to mount standoffs. These are my two M2 slots here. The two 280 ones need standoffs there. So we're going to mount those standoffs, then the drives, and then we'll put in the final screws.
Which works too, I hope. I want to camp it out. Just gently scoot in. Not too much, not too little.
Okay, so that's our two main drives installed. Looks like they're on there.
Yep.
This one's a little loose.
How loose?
Like that loose.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nah, we'll go just another turn. So now it's not moving. I feel better about that. Again, probably not going to bother with the heat sinks. At least for now. We can always mount them later. It's just an adhesive. So next up will probably be the processor. Well, we still have plenty of space here, and then we can do the RAM afterwards. I don't want to do the RAM first because then it's going to be kind of in the way.
Processor. Scissors. Isn't these kind of nice that they include a somewhat okay cooler CPU?
I'm surprised they didn't bother with something this high.
Yeah, you have to be fair. Intel with their 9700K series, they just omit the soft cooler altogether. Show it out.
Yeah.
And a flex.
Yeah. Alright, so unboxing the CPU. This is of course the actual CPU here. Most of the box is the cooler, which we won't be using. So if I pull this out, that's our processor. So we'll set that aside. And then this is the cooler. I'll show you guys the cooler again because I'm not going to use it, so you won't get to see it otherwise. But if you were curious,
that is somewhat decent design.
Quite a beefy air cooler. Pretty decent for what they're giving you alongside your processor. A lot of processors at this price point won't even come with them because they assume you're going to do an aftermarket one. But this is pretty nice. I mean, yeah.
I think it's made by Cooler Master. Decent company.
Yeah, it's got AMD stuff on it, but it looks like a Cooler Master.
Yep.
So we're going to throw that back in the box.
And we'll never see this again. Ever.
If I build another PC that I don't need to water cool, I could throw that on it.
Yeah, I have like a side project. I don't know, once you build a PC, you just want to keep on building. And next thing you know, you become like a tech YouTuber. Alright, you want to put on the I/O panel?
Astartes Tech Tips. Alright, so now we're going to mount the CPU. First thing with AMD CPUs is you got to pop the little guy. Well,
be careful with that, it's actually really flimsy.
Yeah, very flimsy. And then be aware of the little arrow here in the corner. You guys probably can't see it, but if you're mounting your own, look for an arrow. This one is going towards what would be the top left of the motherboard, so in the direction I'm pointing. And there will be one corresponding on this as well that we'll need to line up.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. It's not visible in the box. So we've got some plastic here.
That's a nice clamshell.
Some literature. Yes, this is protected in a nice plastic clamshell here. And there is no arrow, so Oh boy.
You probably need to look at the pins.
It actually looks like it's gonna be
you're right.
this way.
No, it's this way.
You sure?
You see?
No, see these?
Is it?
See the cutouts?
No, that's an arrow right here. So it's this way. Yeah, it's this way. Yeah, there's an arrow corner.
Yeah.
You want to show the audience where the arrow is?
Yeah, so this one's on the bottom. The plastic's kind of in the way. Let me open it so you can see it better.
Alright. Moment of truth. Don't
send it flying.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no actual arrow drawn on the thing. It actually looks like it's part of the metal. So one of these corners has like a little brass looking arrow on it. It's this one here. The rest do not have it. So that's the arrow there. Normally it would be on the top to make things easier for you, but
if
in this case,
Intel, then it would be straightforward. If you AMD, then you
so we're going to want to, let's see, how do we want to orient it so we can just flip it?
What? Flip it over. You want to close it and open it on the other side so that you don't directly touch the pins?
Because then the pins are going to fall.
The pins don't fall, but they are like made from.
I mean, like, you know, the thing is going to fall on the pins.
Okay.
So it needs to go like that. Arrow here.
Yes.
Arrow there.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so it's going to mount like this, which I found interesting. Typically, they'll have their like, you know, their logo upright, but in this case, it's not. So arrow there. Arrow there.
Yep.
And drop this in ever so gently. Okay. And then
Close the tensioning bracket.
close this and lock it.
Oh, good. You didn't have to scrap this video, so we're good.
Yeah, that wasn't $300 down the drain. Okay, so that's in. We'll probably do thermal paste when we're ready to mount the cooler.
Yes. Actually, first off, I need to check whether or not you need to remove these two because your custom cooler might need that gone.
Yeah. In fact, I think it will.
Okay. Now, where is the cooler?
It's part of our camera array.
Oh. I guess we can show the audience what exactly we're using to mount the camera. Yeah, kind of janky.
So we've stacked this on several boxes to make it work. You
Yep.
go ahead and pull it and we'll replace it with our other fans.
Okay. Pull that out. And you can place that little dingy thing. I need to
I think it's a spoon holder. I don't know. I don't cook.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just remember that. You know what? This is giving me anxiety. So let's just have it like this. That is lengthwise and there's more support. There. Back in business. Now we're gonna unbox the cooler and hopefully there's an instruction in here saying how exactly we should proceed.
As I said, we're not going to mount the cooler just yet, but we are going to prepare to mount it. So there's a couple things we need to do while the motherboard's not yet in the case. There's a mounting bracket that's going to need to be mounted to the back and some standoffs. They're going to replace these little plastic guys that were here. So I've removed those. Now we're going to mount the brackets. And once we have the brackets in and the back plate, we can go ahead and put our RAM in, and then this thing is ready to go into the case. Alright, so Baseplate's already had its way with this box a little bit, but I'll show you most of the contents. So you've got your instructions, your warranty guide, all sorts of different mounting brackets here, some of which we'll need, some of which we won't. So we'll have to go through the instructions and see which ones are required for an AMD processor versus an Intel. But there's several sets here. I believe this is the back plate. These are going to be the face plates. I'll give you those.
Yep. So for now, you need only these two.
Yeah, okay, so those two.
So you'll be using AMD stock backplate.
So the
On the cold plate, already have the Intel one, so you need to take this out and remove it.
I'll get to that in a second. They haven't seen that yet. So these are the ones that we're going to be using. They're going to wrap around the processor. I'm going to pass you those.
Okay.
Alright, then inside here we have all the big parts. I'll do the fans first. We've got 2 fans. These are 12 volt DC, 120 millimeter fans. Potentially we might be able to replace these with the RGB fans.
No, you don't want that.
We might want that.
No. How do you... No, actually, these are more or less optimized for a radiator.
Yeah,
those one are.
Speaking of, we have the radiator here.
Wait, what? Oh.
So this is the radiator. I'm going to mount this to the top of the case. So this is 240 millimeters in total. Again, 2 120s. It's going to occupy the entire top of the case. And then, as you saw, it's attached to the cooling line. This being the cooling line here, so there's tubes that are wrapped that run to what's going to mount on the CPU. This is the AMD bracket that we're going to have to remove. And we're going to, or sorry, this is the Intel bracket that we're going to have to remove to install the AMD one. And then there's some cables and stuff to connect this to the motherboard, as well as hardware, including like standoffs and screws that you'll need for all the mounting. So it turns out the AMD mount actually does require these, so I've put them back on.
Read manuals.
Yes, read the manual first. And it doesn't require any additional mounting to the back, so it's already got a back plate on there. Apparently that's the one we're going to use.
It didn't fall?
No.
No, you're good.
RAM.
I have this exact RAM.
Do you?
Black. I do.
And you were talking all that shit on it?
Yeah, I just turned it off. I just turned all the RGB off.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm offended by RGB.
Alright, so unboxing the RAM. I pulled it out. We've got this little clamshell plastic with 2 sticks of RAM in it. There's really nothing else to it. Nothing else in the box. So we're just going to pull these out. And according to Baseplate, these are indeed match sets. So the 2 that I have are going to be mounted into the black set here, and then he's going to mount the 2 gray ones. Let's see.
Yeah, these are really tall RAM sticks.
They are a bit tall, yeah. Got a clearance for the RGB.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Let's see.
The RGB is roughly 1/5 the height of this.
Yeah.
It's not even that bright, to be honest.
So the sides are obviously asymmetric. There's a cutout about 45% of the way down this one. So it turns out that it's going to be mounted with the logo facing what will be the right edge of the motherboard, and then the back will be facing the processor, so like this.
Is it?
Yeah, the cutout, it's right there.
Okay. There we go. That's
Nice
a nice
click.
click.
Let you go and do yours, because it's going to be hard for you to get in between those.
Okay, watch me break your RAM.
Crunch. This isn't a connector, and you've also got a glove stuck in there.
Yep, I got a glove stuck in there.
Nice. Okay, then another one of mine. Why does that look like it's already locked? Because it was.
Yeah, it was locked.
Nice click.
Okay, make sure these are locked.
They look good. They're all level height. Yep.
Yeah, AMD doesn't have the mounting, the CPU mounting pressure issue with Intel, where RAM stick may not work. We don't have enough pressure.
So these are all nice and locked in. Do check, make sure the little switches on the edge here are locked. Some motherboards are going to have them on both sides. On this one, one of the sides, this side here, where my left hand is static. So those aren't going to click or anything, but the ones on the right will close and lock. So check those, or both if you have them. And then just make sure that the height of these is all the same. Obviously, if one of them isn't in all the way, you'll be able to tell just based on it being elevated above the others. But they all look nice and flat, so we're good.
That's nice.
Well, that's it for installation on the motherboard. If we want, we can put some of the mount for the cooler on, but we won't be able to put the actual cooler on just yet.
No, you have to put it when you're installing the entire thing.
Okay, so we'll do the whole we'll do the whole bracket at once then, once this is in the case. For now, I think that's it for the motherboard. So we can go ahead and install it, but before we do that, we're going to need to check the alignment on the case and then mount the standoffs for the motherboard in there. The case is obviously designed to accommodate a wide range of motherboards, so we need to figure out which holes are meant to accommodate this particular one.
Yeah, but actually reading the manual this time.
The standoffs for the motherboard done. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see them, but there's little brass pieces here, here, and then there's 3 along the top, 3 along the bottom. Again, just refer to your manual for which ones you need and where. So now we can lay the motherboard on in and start mounting it down.
Yes. Yeah, you do it. It's your board.
Afraid you're gonna drop it.
Yeah, I don't want to end up paying for your computer. Switch over.
But there's only like $1,000 on this piece right here.
1,000. 300, 500. No, 300. Yeah, about 1,000. You're right.
Let's see.
Does it fit?
Yeah.
It doesn't align, right?
What do you mean?
You still need to be pushing a bit.
Yeah, no, it's the.
Need some pressure against that.
Exactly. Because these have little pieces of metal that are pushing back. And I think it just dropped in.
Check this hole right here. Is that? Yep, you are in.
Yeah. No, I felt it drop in.
Yeah.
So it's good. It looks like all the holes are aligned.
Hopefully nothing get knocked.
These are in place. So this thing is nice and secure now. Before we add anything else, there's a couple of feed them through here. There's a couple of connections that we want to make, mainly for like the front panel stuff. So like our on button, our reset button, and things like that. Audio and whatnot. We want to connect these before we do anything else. So there's this stuff here. It's part of the case. So all the connections that came with our front case panel.
Yeah. Next, power supply.
Oh boy.
You want to give the audience some insight regarding why you choose this particular brand?
Nope.
Nope. Just because it's cheap?
Yep.
There you go.
Alright, so I'm unboxing the power supply. As he was asking me if there was any particular reason I went with this one, it was because it was fully modular and a good deal for what came in the box. So 850 watt Thermaltake power supply, 80 plus gold rated. You want to do a bird's eye view? Okay, so inside the box we have
another box.
Really nice packaging, actually. This is excessive. I'm just going to pull this off. So there's a little cloth protector for it. That's the power supply itself, of course. And then inside here we have a bag, like a nylon or vinyl bag. Some forbidden seasoning. And inside we have
modular cables.
The main power cable. And then everything else that we should need.
Yeah, that's everything. You got 24 pin ATX, you got your
it's all there.
Your Curse Molex, your 6+2 PSU power, GPU power.
So the reason I went with the modular is because that one, the power supply in my current system is not modular. So I have a lot of extra cables occupying a lot of space, and it makes it really difficult to manage. With this one, everything is individual, so we only use what we need. Checking in, we have all of the cables routed to where they need to be. So we went ahead and installed the fans. We've got 3 intake fans along the front, and then 1 exhaust fan in the back. These are all, again, 120s. The back only accommodates 120 because of the I/O shield there. The front could have taken 140s, but I just bought a 6-pack of these RGB fans, so they're all going to be the same. And then we're going to mount the cooler in the top slot here. Again, it's going to occupy this whole 240 millimeter section, but you can't see my finger. This section here. So we're going to go ahead and mount the cooler now, and then we're going to save the graphics card for last because that's going to be
the most expensive part to break.
The most expensive part, as well as the most cumbersome, because it's going to occupy pretty much this entire space here. It's very big, so again, it's going to go all the way up to the front fan here, essentially.
Yeah, Jesus. People, man. Use, man. Aftermarket design on the. Yeah, aftermarket design on.
Yeah, you're the one that found it.
Yeah, to be fair. Kind of dove into this entire thing anyway, so I claim partial responsibility for this.
So we've mounted the radiator and fans for the cooler. So this is the radiator here. Can you see my finger? Yeah. Okay, so that's the radiator. The fans are mounted as intakes just below it. So they're going to pull cold air through the radiator and into the case, the same as the front intake fans.
Yeah, let's see how many of your fan shit on this video for mounting these two as intake.
I mean, that's how they suggest it, and that's how I've always done it. So next up, we have to mount the actual, what do you call it?
Cold plate.
Yeah. So this part that goes on the actual CPU. Why can I not figure out this direction?
Because
so this thing,
yeah, there you go,
is going to go on the CPU, which is there. And this already has thermal paste applied, so we're actually not going to apply our own. I'm going to try this first. This white square is their pre-applied stuff. I'm going to try it, and if it looks good, then we'll just leave it. Otherwise, I did buy some Noctua thermal paste that we can apply ourselves if we take this off. So we're going to do that.
Alright, and you gonna have to mount this thing on?
Vaguely.
Vaguely.
Back and forth. Make sure I'm not rotating on one side.
Oh, come on.
Just do a wide shot. Give me wide shot.
Wide shot. What?
Hands in action. These have a lot of.
I mean, that's the point.
Travel.
It's supposed to be high tension.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's a lot of travel. Like, you have to really. Like, I'm not even getting resistance yet.
That is interesting, given that it's not spring loaded. Even before the plastic snap off.
Right. See what you think.
See what do you think? Okay. It's tight enough, and you probably won't.
It's not.
You probably won't notice much until. Oh God, this is disgusting. It's so loose.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. You know what? I'll go ahead into it. I'll just tighten it by hand until it cannot be tightened by hand anymore. I think these are meant to be tightened by hand anyway. Okay. Alright. So that's that. Now let's flip this thing over and start doing cable management.
We have a little bit of a mess back here. We're going to do what we can to clean it up. This is the fan hub for the RGB fans. We're probably just going to glue it to this back panel here.
Or just shove it in there and never look at it again.
Or that, yeah. It might just be loose. It does have some 3M adhesive on it. So if we want to, we can just use that. Otherwise, we might just shove it and then slam the panel closed on it.
Yeah.
We've got everything in the case for the most part. So we're going to go ahead and start working on the GPU right now. As we start mounting this, I'll show you guys what the cooler looks like as well. So I already kind of unboxed this, but I'll show you again. So this is actually factory refurbished. It's not like brand new necessarily, but it's again factory refurbished with a factory warranty. So it's as close as you'll get without it being actually new. Comes with this, with all the literature and stuff in it, and then the card itself, and that's pretty much the entire thing. The rest is just the packing foam. So here's the card. 314 millimeters, the graphics card here. 3 fans.
Oh wow, there's some furry comics in here.
Oh yeah, it's how to install it.
No,
manga
wait, is
form.
it?
Yeah, it's like a manga of how to install it.
Okay. You actually read through it?
No, I just looked at the first page.
You immediately throw it away?
Yep. So here it is. Again, triple zero frozer fans. across the front.
You gonna view it?
Yeah, go for it. You missed the tab. There was a peel tab on it. And then this is the back plate for the top that you'll actually see. The lighting here is awful at this point.
Yeah. Look at this nice place with all the lighting that doesn't light up the room at all.
I mean, it looks pretty well lit in here. The camera's just not picking it up.
So that means it's not well lit. Can you put it right here, maybe?
With the card?
Yeah.
What are you going to do to it? You don't need the case?
Just show it up. You know, like, do like a TV shot.
Nah, it's still too dark.
Is it dark? No, well. We tried.
Yeah. So while he's doing that, this is the cooler here again. We have the fans and radiator mounted across the top here. This cable is going to route the liquid down here to the cooler, which is attached to the CPU. And this is RGB as well, not that it matters, but...
What, RGB? Oh, RGB RAM, never mind.
RGB RAM, RGB cooler, RGB
fans. PSU tube, well, you're not gonna ever see that because the fan.
It's not RGB.
It's RGB.
Is it?
Yes.
What? Why?
Because you can have RGB everything, why not RGB chairs and RGB PSU? I've shown you that Thermaltake RGB cooling block for RAM before, right?
Yeah, I saw it. Didn't go that far. These will have to cool themselves.
Yeah, oh well, alright, let's put it in.
Okay.
Hang on.
So again, we have exactly 1 millimeter of clearance for this thing.
Could be more if you have a sando.
Yeah, just cut the plastic off the front of it.
What the hell? Why is it?
Sketching. You have to go in an angle. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're a little bit above. It needs to go that way. It needs to go towards the bottom.
Don't tell me I did not.
Oh,
yeah,
you took the wrong one off.
Yeah, I took the wrong one off. God damn it.
That's fine. Just move that one to the top.
Forgot that there's a 1x slot right above the 4x, sorry, right above the 16x. Go. So it has been roughly 8 hours since we last had food.
No.
No? What was it, 10? Last night. Okay, so 10 was 6 hours. There you go. Yeah, hang on. Let me route this thing behind the card.
Oh, okay.
Up. Yeah. Not the best combination altogether, but
HDMI covers. We're not aligning correctly.
yeah.
Okay.
Press. Good.
Okay, nice fit.
Now, let's see how this actually works.
Watch your hands. Look at that clearance.
What clearance are you talking about? There is absolutely no clearance here. There is no clearance.
1 millimeter. Yeah.
There is no clearance.
Is it gonna block the fan?
No.
Then it's cleared. That's good. Oh, god damn it. It rolled under. It rolled under the GPU. I can see it. There's a piece of cloth. It's right here. See it?
Yeah. Alright, roll. There we go. Big brain. That's one in. And the other one in. Well, at least with that, well, with no clearance, we know for a fact the card will not sag.
Yep. Got 2 mounting points in the back and 1 in the front. It's going to hang on the lip of that fan.
Cannot argue against that logic. Okay. god, show this thing to someone.
This is peak performance. This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
No wasted space.
Cool. So what do you want to do now? Try turning it on or finish cable management?
Let's just throw this in. We'll finish the cable management up and then boot it.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to have any issues. Of course, now that I say that, we will. But operating with the assumption that we won't need to drastically rebuild anything.
Or grab a fire extinguisher.
No. We're smarter than that.
You got two people with PhDs. Passing high school difficulty. I don't know, man. This plastic bar thing is kind of stressing me out. He's putting a lot of pressure on it, and this takes.
Yeah.
It takes one single. You know,
I don't like that mount either. I don't know why they mounted it like that. But that's how it said to mount it.
Okay, let's just.
I don't love it.
Let's just get on with this.
So we need the another state series.
What screw are you going to be using?
That's a great question. I have no idea.
It's a screw back, and none of these. Oh, actually, these might be the one. These go through the bottom side through the spacer with the slot here, and
I'm
then
good with that. Yeah.
Okay, let's go with
Can we
that.
test the threads on it. Man, why can't they just cover that?
Why would they cover that?
I don't know. Why not? Like, you grind that against something, it's done.
There's no component there.
Then
There
why-
used to be component there, but
then
they
why
just have
even
to
have
put
a
it
circuit
aside.
board there?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's the right side. You get 4 of these then. So for our next trick, we're gonna be flipping the case.
You gonna go upside down?
Yeah, how else we gonna do it? How else we gonna
I
be
mean,
doing it?
I mounted the drive cable in there sideways.
Right.
Gotta rotate. So we want it this way.
Yep.
Stuff accessible from there. Let's pop these in before I do that. Pop these two.
Can this even get in?
Go to the top. Oh, you.
It fell somewhere. I didn't hear anything.
I thought it fell in the case.
Alright.
We can grab one off of this.
Yeah, please grab it off of me, please. Well, we'll figure out where the other one went after we flip the case over.
I'll do this one. Let's go
Yeah,
to the
just
top.
like that.
Jesus. Okay. That's gotta go way closer to you. 'Cause right now the hole is lined up with the bigger hole.
Yep, I see it.
But it's catching?
Nope. I'll hold it. Let's
Um,
see where we're going.
Let's look at
Can you do the other corner? This one. Yeah.
I should probably look down to see if I'm just screwing this into the bottom of the.
Okay, if things go right, I let go, the entire thing should not fall. And it's not falling out. And you two
Success!
partial. How are we gonna put the power in?
Very carefully.
Yes, right, the other two. And this is where the SATA cables come in.
Yeah. One of those is flat, one is 90 degree. So
1 of them will work.
take your pick.
Yeah, I hope we could do a 90 degree for this one. Wait, no. Doesn't work. This. I don't know. Do you need a SATA drive inside the computer?
Yeah.
You do. Okay. That way doesn't look like a mess.
Nope.
No?
This is the progress we've made on cable management now that the GPU's installed. Could be a lot worse. Probably could be better. Why am I having such a hell of a time getting that to line up?
Yeah, shove everything down here. Just don't dip the bottom part of your case in water and you should be fine.
Alright, so that's it for cable management.
Not really. Front SATA.
God damn it.
You want to do some cleanup before we finally plug the power in and see if this thing catch fire or boots.
Yeah. Let's make the fire department's job a little bit easier.
Yep. Okay, you want to say a few words before we commit?
Well, it's been nice knowing everybody. If this explodes, I guess I'll leave whatever survives of the computer to. Oh wait, we can't use that.
Okay, alright. Up.
Okay, RGB works. Wow. I'm curious, where'd that remote go? I don't think it's set up.
Is there any battery in there?
I don't think so. Oh, maybe. Oh.
Is this thing on?
Yeah, it was on.
It's on! Yes, it works! Hey! Moment of something.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice, that's white. It's blue.
That was purple, apparently.
Uh-huh. I didn't expect you to
That's-
see through it.
That's
but you
dark blue.
can.
No, that's why I wanted it there. Because the mesh is fine enough. I knew it would be visible.
CPU doesn't immediately. CPU temperature doesn't immediately go up to 60, so that means that that's enough pressure, hopefully.
Yeah. We're at 38C, which is pretty good.
Okay. It recognized the 4 terabyte and it recognized both NVMe drives.
Yeah.
All the RAMs work, but you got to turn on XMP or something like that to actually use the speed.
Yeah, it's only using about 2/3.
Yeah, you got to turn on XMP or whatever. No.
Apparently dark blue and purple are exactly the same.
Is it normal?
Green.
What DOCP? That's a RAM thing, I think. There we go.
There we go.
Now this is a RAM profile thing.
Okay.
It should go up to 3600 megahertz. I might want to bring it a bit closer. BIOS. I don't think this was the latest BIOS, but I need to check.
No, it needs to be updated. I almost guarantee it. Why can I not get this thing fucking centered?
Because it's not. There's nothing for it to focus on.
No, I can't get my body to orient it right.
Easy sensitivity, normal. How do I? There we go. Advanced mode. This is what I want to see. Advanced tool. Where the hell do I find the thing I need to do to get this mouse to work better? Configuration. And you're overclocking. You're gonna be overclocking on your own probably because I don't know how to overclock this stuff.
No, that's fine. I might just use their overclocking software. Do you see this RGB happening?
Yeah, I see it, and I am not impressed. Looks straight up something that the Cyber Power PC would make.
Okay, so as you can see, we've got it all working, and on the first try, no less. So we're running Windows 10. We've got all the basic programs here, some benchmarking stuff. We've already benchmarked it. Everything looks good. The CPU is running a little hot, so I'm going to keep playing with settings to see if I can get the baseline temperature down. And everything else looks good. We have full RGB function, so I can play around with these. I think I'm going to just keep it on white though. We've got Steam, Discord, all the basics. I don't know how soon I'm going to be able to transition to recording on this. Obviously, it's not just a matter of getting my recording software installed. I need to install the games, get my saves transferred, things like that. So there's still a lot of work to be done in order to be able to record our Let's Plays on here, but that's the goal. In the meantime, I need to start editing this video so I can get it to you guys as soon as possible. And that's pretty much it. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Baseplate, for helping me. Radio Shack for helping and bringing lots of zip ties. And I will see you guys in the near future with some more Let's Plays.